Maria. Question: what was the craziest and funniest moment you had behind the scenes of SPN all these years? Craziest and funniest moment you had behind the scenes. Um, you know, I feel like there were two moments on set where, well, one moment was where I was anxiously awaiting the birth of my first son, Tom, and I was shooting with Osric. We were at the Riverview Hospital, and it's the scene where Sam is chasing Kevin Tran around. And I literally was just waiting for a phone call from Jen to say, hey, I'm in labor. And sure enough, she went into labor on that Friday. And so I think we did like one or two more takes. And then I got into Cliff's truck and we drove down to Seattle. And then I also remember when Richard Speight was directing, when Jensen's twins, he had the same situation where we're all glued to our phones, and sure enough, he gets a text like, "Hey." That was a bit of a farther travel because they were giving birth, Danielle was giving birth in Austin, and so we had to go way far away. But the same thing where getting that call, it's a weird situation to be an actor, but have something so big going on in your personal life where you want to be committed to your character, to the story, to what you're doing, to the scene, but your wife might be going to labor any second. And so he and I had those moments on set, and they were crazy and funny and hectic. And I remember uh, before Jensen and Neil had their twins, um, whose birthday is coming up in a week. They he came to set and we were filming like, I don't know, 45 minutes away from our places in Vancouver. And I walked up to him kind of midday and was like, "Hey man, you have your passport?" And he kind of looked at me like, "I'm not the one who forgets things. Like, of course I got my passport." And I was like, "All right, well, just go back to your trailer, or when we go back to our trailers to change or whatever, just touch it. Just put your fingers on your passport. Like, just do me a favor." And he kind of looked at me like, "It's a weird thing." And so then we had we had a scene, or we had a shot that maybe Misha was in or something, and we weren't in. And so we went back to our trailers, go to the bathroom, or just kind of warm up. I think it was December, and so then we get back in Cliff's truck, start heading back to set. And he looks at me and he's like, "How'd you know?" And I had kind of forgotten what I had said hours earlier, and so I was sort of like, how did I know what?" And he's like, "How'd you know?" It's like, "Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, do you smell toast? Like, I don't know what's going on here." And it turns out that he didn't have his passport. And we were in Canada, and Danielle was about to go into the hospital the next morning in America. So he needed his passport. And so then that started some big old all hands on deck. Y'all check the home in Austin, y'all check my apartment here. And he ultimately figured out that it had been in one of his other backpacks. I think we had gone to a convention or something, and so he had just left in there, assuming he would take that bag. He didn't, and so we had to call some Austin Police Department friends of ours to let them know, like, "Listen, we're flying in. He doesn't have his passport. Can you help us get in touch with customs and immigration and this and that?" And so it was a pretty hectic moment, but we got home in time. Spate got us out in time, and so um, it was a happy ending. But those were two of the craziest and funniest. Okay. Miyako Dea?